Hey guys, ReCoat Revolution here. Welcome to our channel. Today we're doing a huge project, ton of hardwood floors everywhere, and I'm going to show you a new solution that's not sanding or replacing your floors. So let's get started. 17 years of everyday life had started to show on these walnut hardwood floors. Across the whole main level of this beautiful home, the floors had become cloudy, scratched, faded, and worn. There was quite a bit of sun damage in this dining room area, but the homeowner's main concern here wasn't to completely fix the sun damage. Her priority was to remedy the more worn, inconsistent areas throughout. Of course, we don't promise a complete fix on the sun-faded areas, and they were going to be covered back up with her decorative rugs. One of the homeowner's biggest concerns was the kitchen. There were several high-traffic areas where the floor had become noticeably faded and worn. Of course, the homeowner didn't want to tear them out, and she didn't need to sand them either. So we brought in the ReCoat Revolution Clean ReCoat Process to see how much life we could really bring back to these floors. And with Walnut being such a beautiful floor when it's taken care of, we knew there was a lot here worth saving. And this wasn't a small project. Altogether, we were restoring roughly 2,600 square feet of flooring throughout the home. That included the kitchen, main living area, dining room, hallway, and study. One of the coolest parts of this house was actually the wine room. At first glance, it looks like there's just a built-in bookcase along the wall, but the entire bookcase moves and opens into the adjoining room. Definitely not something we see on every job. The first step was getting years of buildup off the surface. What can look like a floor that has completely lost its color can sometimes actually be layers of dirt, grime, residue, and worn finish sitting on top of the wood. So we started with our deep cleaning process to remove that buildup. Normally, our Clean ReCoat process is completed in just one day. This took us a couple of days simply because of the size of the project and the amount of furniture that had to be moved and worked around. Instead of clearing the entire house out at once, we were able to work through the home in sections. This also isn't just your typical mop and bucket cleaning. We vacuum the floor, power scrub it, and extract the residue that has built up on the surface. There was also some noticeable sun fading in the dining room from years of natural light hitting the same areas of the floor. Sun fading is one thing the Clean ReCoat process can improve visually, but it can't always completely reverse the color change that's happened within the wood itself. In this case, that area was also going right back underneath the homeowner's rug, so once the room was put back together, it blended perfectly with the space. Although these floors looked clean, this is what our mop water looked like just after 2 rooms. One of the biggest differences between our process and traditional refinishing is how we prepare the existing floor. Instead of sanding the floor all the way down to bare wood, we prep the surface so the new finish can properly adhere to the finish that's already there. That means we aren't grinding away a layer of your actual hardwood, and we aren't creating all of the wood dust associated with traditional sanding. Before our last step, we made sure to color correct the worn spots in the kitchen with matching stain. This really brought the kitchen to life. Once the floors were clean and worn areas were corrected, it was time to protect everything again. We applied a new finish across the floors, bringing back the richness of the walnut and giving the entire space a much more consistent appearance. And instead of the dull, worn appearance we started with, you could actually see the depth and character of the walnut again. For a 17-year-old floor covering this much of the home, the difference was huge. The biggest thing is that these floors didn't need to be ripped out or completely sanded down to make a dramatic improvement. That's exactly why we created the Clean ReCoat process. We restore the floors you already have by deep cleaning them, correcting worn areas when needed, and applying a new polyurethane finish. So if your hardwood floors are looking scratched, cloudy, faded, or just tired, before you assume they need to be sanded or replaced, see if your floors could use the Clean ReCoat process. Alright, so here's a good look at what these floors looked like after our process. This was just the second day where this main room had just been done, so not fully dried yet. Now here we have the study, the dining area, and the kitchen all dry, and the homeowner was able to put all of her furniture back in 24 hours. So here's how it looks like with all of her furniture back. You can tell a nice consistent color, and this homeowner decided to go with our satin finish, so not super shiny, but overall a clean and new consistent finish. Just like that, 17-year-old floors now refresh and ready for years of more life.